Sergei Mikhailovich Prokudin-Gorsky was a Russian photographer who lived around the turn of the 20th century. He is best known as one of the early pioneers in the field of color photography. He used a technique which involved taking three separate black and white images, each one using a different color filter: red, green, and blue. These three images would be combined using a special projector to create a full color photograph. His vast collection of photographs document the landscape, people, and architecture found across the Russian countryside and in other parts of Europe and Central Asia. These photographs were originally displayed on postcards, albums, and at exhibitions using his projector system. Since Prokudin-Gorsky was an innovator of color photography, it makes sense that his work would focus on the use of colors, like in this photo, Peasant Girls, taken in 1909. The neutral colored background combined with the bullseye composition emphasizes the bright purples and reds of the three girls' dresses. The head-on perspective allows the viewer to connect with these girls by being able to look at them eye to eye. One of the things that draws me to this image is the contrast of the cheerful colors and the girls' stoic expressions. It makes me wonder how they would behave and what their lives are like once the camera's put away. This descriptive photo serves to document these girls' culture, namely the traditional dress and cuisine, without making any particular judgments about it. This is a digital restoration of a photo of the Assumption Cathedral in Smolensk that was originally published in the collection Views of the Napoleonic Campaign Area in 1912. Prokudin-Gorsky utilizes side lighting coming from the right-hand corner to capture the ornate detailing of the architecture. Because this photo is largely monochromatic, not much detail would have been lost if it were black and white. Nevertheless, the use of gold in this image really emphasizes the opulence of the cathedral. The angle of the camera, taken from a low perspective looking up at an elevated platform, makes the viewer feel small while making the room seem important and imposing. The purpose of this photo is to aesthetically evaluate the elaborate interior of this cathedral. However, it can also be ethically evaluative as it shows the great importance that Russia placed on the Orthodox Church that they would build such an impressive and extravagant cathedral. This digital restoration of view from the bell tower of the Trinity Cathedral is taken from a high perspective to capture the mass of people lining the streets of Belgorod. The vanishing point perspective and strong diagonal lines lead the viewer's eyes across the entire crowd and makes it seem even larger as the crowd disappears off into the distance. This is an explanatory photograph which documents the celebration of the canonization of a saint from this city on September 4th, 1911. I like this photo for its interesting composition and use of color to emphasize the crowd, but what is really interesting is that while many of Prokudin-Gorsky's photos depict people going about their everyday lives, in this image we get to see how they react to a special occasion. One of the things that I admire about Prokudin-Gorsky's work is the simplicity of his photographs and the innovative techniques he used to capture the essence of life and the beautiful sights of the Russian countryside. His goal was simple: to document the world around him, and to use his photographs to educate people about the evolving Russian culture by using an entirely new medium, color photography. As a result of his efforts, he created a fascinating body of work that is awe-inspiring even 100 years later. Of course, his greatest achievement is shaping the development of color photography as a pioneer in the then unexplored field.